Hi, creative friends. This is Soraya, and thank you so much for being here. So, I allowed this to completely dry, and actually, now that I come back to it, there are parts of it that I find really luscious and interesting. And yeah, she looks like a monster, but that's a whole point. So, I'm just going to bring this up closer over here just so you can see some of the luscious stuff that's going on. And I just wanted to address a few things. The first thing is that somebody asked me if I could share some of the YouTube videos that I have been watching, and going forward, I will make a note of those. But thus far, I didn't make any notes, so I can't really share where I got this particular idea from. It was a lady, an artist who was doing portraits, and she talked about this painting a monster, and it made a lot of sense because for a few reasons. Like, the first thing is it frees you up completely. Like, you're not even thinking about what it's going to look like. You're just playing, you're just having fun, you're just putting down your values, putting down your colors, and there's a sense of freedom that comes with that, and play. The second thing is, and I did talk about this when I think I did my still lifes, is that a color field has so many different colors and hues and values. So red is not red. Like, if I was gonna paint a red sweater, or yeah, this is a cad red light. It looks orange, but it's actually a cad red light. So just say I was gonna paint a red sweater. I am not gonna take a whole bunch of this paint and put it down for my red sweater. It is going to have a lot of different colors. It's going to have blues, and it's going to have grays, and it's going to have different shades of the red, different values of the red. It's going to have different textures, etc. And it can include colors that are, you wouldn't even think would go in a red. Like greens, for instance, or green grays, or whatever. And another reason to work like this is you're leaning more into your intuitive self. And I have been kind of playing around with these portraits where I'm painting these, monsters, as this lady put forth. And I did show you this one, I think, in my last video. So I pretty much started this. Now, this is just, a few layers in. It's maybe like, I don't know, I want to say it's about 30% into the portrait, but I began this portrait much like this. And this one over here as well, maybe about 20%, 30% done. And I started this one off the same as I am doing here. And this one over here, I started it off. Now, this one's a little bit more into it. So I want to say, like, maybe this might be 40 or 50% into the portrait, but I started this one the same way that I did here. So just to recap, what I did is I just went in, I did not use my pencil to make a sketch. I just went in and I just laid down some values. I used Prussian blue over here. I used my yellow, no, Naples yellow, and I did put some pinks over here just to kind of, just inject some color in. And then I used some alizarin crimson ink. So that was it. And I put a tea bag down there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in, and now I'm going to kind of get my face together. And, this might take, I might draw my face here, and then I might like move things and tweak things, and it's okay. So I really want to stress that this is like a very playful kind of a process. It's certainly in these early stages here. So now I'm going to take my pencil, and I am going to, kind of see like, hey, where are my lines going to go? And, like, even now I can tell, okay, that's a little bit off because the lower lip is too close to the chin, but I'm not going to worry about that. I took a class a long time ago, and I can't remember, it was a drawing class or a painting class or whatever. And the teacher was a really good teacher, and she talked about how, even the masters, like, you would think, I don't know, whoever the masters are to you, Dürer, Rembrandt, whoever, even the masters, they would search for their lines. So like, you know, they, it's like maybe sometimes I think this comes from popular culture a lot. We are shown that, you know, people just sit down and then they fall into this like mad kind of a fit of creativity, and then they just paint something and they don't remember it and they have an altered state of consciousness. I've seen lots of movies like this. You see it in literature, and it's a very misguided view of creativity, in my humble opinion. It it's a lot of times creativity is portrayed in that way by people who are not necessarily creative, and it's a stereotype, a very flat way of looking at creativity. But anyways, I'm sorry, I'm rambling on. So I'm gonna put some collage down here, just kind of haphazardly, honestly. Um, but you know, uh, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought there. But basically, you know, even the masters, they there was a thing called searching for your line. And what that means is you might lay down 20 lines before you are happy with it. So, you know, you would put one line down and then you go, that doesn't feel right. Oh, put another line. Oh, that doesn't feel right. Oh, you know, and you're searching for the line. You're searching for the line that you want. It's not like you just intuitively know, okay, the line's going to go there. Like even if you do measurements, and even if you're painting from real life, and you do all your measurements, and you know, you're doing a very kind of an architectural drawing, if you will, whether it's a still life, whether it's whatever. You know, but when I say architectural drawing, I mean you're rendering something, you know, a lot by measurements, right? Even then, you're still going to search for your line, because, you know, something may not feel right intuitively. Um, so, you know, that being said, we're just going to play around here. And I haven't laid out my eyes. And so the nose is over here. And see, so I'm just kind of like searching for, you know, where do I want my features to go? And this might take a little bit of, you know, working things. And so we're going to think, you know, play, 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 play. Be in a state of curiosity, be in a state of playfulness, and we're not like gonna stress out about anything. And now the eyes are, I'm gonna try to place the eyes here. And I don't know if that feels right. Mm, I might want it to go a little bit lower. So what I'm doing now is I'm just kind of searching for where I want my features to go. Now this is a different process than, you know, when you sketch your, you know, you get a pencil and you sketch your face out first. This is a different process. So it's not like any one is right or wrong. It's just a different way of working. And I'm just experimenting with different ways of working. I really am loving some of the richness that's coming from me working in this way. Um, like, I'm really loving so much of this particular face over here. It just like there's such an expressive kind of quality to the paint that I'm really, you know, I'm really liking a lot of what's going on here. So I'm just kind of like trying out new things, and just seeing, you know, just experimenting. And And working in this way is like very painterly. Like you just get like so many cool effects that happen. And I don't know, I might have her with her eyes closed. See, like right there, her eyes could be closed. So that's a possibility. I don't know if I like that though. I don't know. Um, I don't know if I like her eyes closed, but anyways. So you guys, I've probably done about, I'm just kind of guessing, but I've probably done about 30 of my 100-day project mixed media portraits, I'm thinking. So I'm learning a lot. Like I am really just, it's really interesting just how different I've approached. I try to approach each portrait just a little bit differently because that way I want to, learn the most. But I'm kind of stuck in this kind of paint a monster kind of um, way of working because I'm just really enjoying the I'm enjoying the playfulness, and I'm also enjoying like just not knowing what's gonna happen. You know, there's something about like when you don't even sketch out the face, there's just a sense of like unpredictability, I guess. And I'm gonna drag some red here. Actually, I was gonna drag some red, but it turned blue. I don't know. Maybe the Stabilo, maybe it picked up on the Stabilo, but that's okay. We're just gonna kind of go with it. So it's still looking really messy, and that's okay. Now, I don't know if I want to keep her with her eyes closed. I may. I wasn't planning on it. Like I didn't think that starting off, but I might just keep her eyes closed. I'm thinking that might work out. So I'm just like building up my color fields here, and I might think I want the eyes closed, and then later on I might be like I might change my mind, and that's okay. And well, she's looking a little less of a monster, but she has a lot of personality at this point, so I'm happy about that. But I do want to lay down just some lighter values here. So remember I said like the push and pull, so I'm still kind of thinking about push and pull, push and pull, push and pull. So and I think I'm going to stop pretty soon because I don't want stuff to start bleeding in an ugly way, where things turn to mud. I want to kind of keep the colors. Okay, you guys. So if you have watched all the way to the end, thank you so much. And I will let this dry and then we'll come back to it. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.